some people like what the Denali looks like, and other people don't know what they want. Like me.
Curtis from the Full Octane Garage coming at you with two really cool trucks today. There's a great rivalry between these two trucks. We have a late model GMC half-ton and a late model Ford F150 half-ton. And I'm a little partial to one because I happen to have one, but I may get surprised today. So we're going to bring in the team players today. We're going to bring in James, who has the GMC, and he's in the red Full Octane team. And we're going to bring Robert in, who has the F150, and he's on the Ford team today. Come on a little bit closer here so we can see you. And I think today we're going to have a little bit of fun. And James thinks his truck's the best, and Robert, I'm sure, knows his truck's the best.
Stop sign truck.
So, found on the road dead. I still haven't come up with the acronym for GMC, but you know, hey, what the heck. So anyways, stick with us. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to show you some really cool features about both these trucks, and I think both of us will probably be surprised because they're both awesome trucks.
Good afternoon and welcome to Full Octane Garage. We have Robert with us today, who brought his Ford 2016 Ford F150 Lariat edition.
Yep.
And we are doing a comparison with yours truly GMC 1500 Denali. Feel like they're comparable vehicles. I think the list price is pretty close to the same. Is that what we decided?
Pretty close, yeah.
And even though this is one of the top of the line vehicles in the GMC line, the Lariat is probably got 2 levels above it, yet the Lariat is at least as well equipped, makes my chest hurt to say, as the Denali. So we drove that and we drove this, so we'll be talking about the Ford here shortly, but we're going to start with the Denali at this point in time. Robert, what's your first impressions?
It's smooth. It's
Go left,
you know,
go left.
The V8 actually has a lot more power than the Eco versus the 3.5 Eco in my truck.
So the GMC Denali, this 1500, comes with a 5.3 liter V8 engine, and the F150 Lariat that you have has a 3.5 liter EcoBoost
twin
V6.
turbo V6.
Twin turbo V6. Now it's not twin scroll either, it's twin turbo.
Yeah, twin turbo, it's not a supercharged.
Right.
So comfort wise, because you're bigger than I am, we'll say that. How do you feel in those seats?
It's pretty comfortable. I want to give a little bit of credit to my F150. I think it's maybe slightly more comfortable. I will say I like the steering wheel in the Denali better. The gauges and the touchscreen in the middle, the navigation screen, are very well developed. Seem a little bit more modern than what's in my truck. Driving wise, this one certainly feels slightly lower. Drives really nice. It's a smooth ride.
I think it would be fair to say that both of these trucks are more like gentleman farmers trucks rather than heavy work edition trucks, more for throwing a set of clubs in.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
A load of steel or cinder blocks or something.
We'll go left up here.
Now, I had mentioned something about the pedals. Do you see what I'm talking about, or how do you feel like the position of the gas pedal and the brake pedal feel together?
You certainly have to lift your foot more to get it onto the brake versus my truck, where it's more streamlined. You don't have to raise your heel or anything like that.
Well, I know one thing. I don't have any air conditioning back here.
Is this the first time you've sat in the back of a...
It is.
Probably.
And my truck's just like this, and I have no air conditioning back there.
Are you getting a little warm?
Just to clarify, okay, the GMC Denali does not have air conditioning in the back. It does not have air conditioning or fan controls in the back. It does have heat, that ducted heat underneath the seat, but it's not in the control of the rear passengers. So Ford 1, GMC 0.
And I do notice that your sunroof's kind of tiny.
Yes, we do have sunroof envy in the GMC because it only encompasses the driver's position. That's what it is about GMC, though. It's all about the driver.
It is. They don't care about the
That
passengers.
is true.
And that's okay.
While we're talking about the back seat, we keep swinging back to the Ford, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. How do you feel back there?
I'm comfortable. I still have about 2 inches of, I'm 6'1", and I have about 2 inches of between my knee and the seat. Straight.
How many charging stations do we have in here?
A million. It's got, in the very front that you're looking at, it's got 2 USBs, 2 AUXs, and then 110 volt. And then underneath the console, it's got 2 more USBs and another AUX. Do you have something back there? A couple more AUX?
I only have 1 cigarette lighter, it
I will
appears.
say the engine feels really good. The smoothness, I don't know. I'd wait for your opinion on the F-150 versus this. Now mine does have the fake engine noise because it is the V6. So I'll give the sound to mine.
I'll just get a recorded tape. That's awesome. GMC Denali, this version of the Denali does have the towing package. It's got the towing assist on it, which the F-150 did also. It does have heated and cooled seats in the front, as the Ford does. It has hill assist.
While we're talking, you're passing over something. The rear passenger seats in the Ford are heated also. Are yours? I don't see any buttons.
They are not.
Okay.
They are not. That's Ford 1, GMC 0. Now, there is a couple items in here. Does the GMC Denali has lane assistance? So if you're driving down the road and you have the lane assistance on, you may already be feeling it. If you start to veer towards the yellow line or the white line, it'll want to push you back, and it'll vibrate the seat. It'll give you a visual alarm. It'll give you an audible alarm, and then if you continue to do it, it'll actually start steering the truck back to the center line.
My truck is not equipped with that, although it is an option.
Okay, well that's fair.
Yep.
If you have the adaptive cruise control in the F-150, it comes with all that equipment, I believe. And it also comes, I think it will parallel park itself
Really?
with that package, possibly.
This does not have adaptive cruise control, actually, which I've had in previous.
Does your truck have adaptive cruise control?
It doesn't. It's an option, but it does not have it.
Okay.
Okay.
And it is nice because, for instance, you'll see like the cell phone sitting in there. When I run driving with Waze, you can actually see the cell phone. It's got a little angle that it can sit in there, and you can actually watch Waze while you're traveling on a long trip.
That is nice.
Now this vehicle does come equipped with Apple Play, so if you have it hard connected with USB, you can push on the Apple Play button, and it will pull up a menu of apps that are on your phone, on your Apple phone.
The GMC has an upper and lower glove box, which is very handy.
The F-150 just has the lower.
Did we actually get one?
That's one point, GMC.
All right. Your F-150 has a 5.5 foot bed.
Yes.
The GMC Denali has step rails along the side of the truck, and it's got corner steps on the back of the truck to help get up into the bed, whereas you've got a handy
Step that
gizmo.
comes down.
Yes, so you have a power tailgate,
Yes.
and you also have the step that comes down and a handle that goes up in order to get into the back of the truck.
Correct. Power in the sense that it can be remotely released.
Is that because most F-150 buyers are over 60 years old and have a hard time getting into the bed of the truck?
Well, it is the #1 selling truck in the world, so
I did notice that you were getting 18 miles to the gallon average, and when we looked at the Ford, it was getting around 15 average. I don't know what you're driving.
the gas mileage in my F-150 has been disappointing, but I don't really pay for gas. So
Now this truck does have, I don't know what the mode's called, but it will drop from 8 cylinders to 4 cylinders.
deactivation.
Cylinder deactivation when you don't need a V8, and it seems to come in pretty often. And if I'm driving very conservatively in order to maximize what a hyper mileage the truck, I have gotten 27 miles a gallon in morning traffic on the way to work over a 26-mile drive.
I think the most I get has been 23-ish on the highway, doing 70 on flat ground. Do you drive mostly highway or?
No, mostly fast.
Mostly fast.
The bed storage is basically the same, so that's a pretty straightforward comparison. Looks, I mean, if you're going to talk Denali and F-150, you have to talk looks. What do you think?
I think they're very comparable. I looked at both trucks when I was buying them. The Denali, I want to say the Denali has more of a refined look, whereas the F-150 has a more angular truck look. Again, both gentlemen's trucks. I would have to give, you know, if you're talking about a truck to take out on the town to a nice restaurant, I might have to give the looks side to the Denali, but the headlights on the F-150 are pretty awesome, and the height, the overall driving, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's 50-50.
All right, already the pedals feel better. We're in the F-150, the Ford F-150 Lariat, and I'm checking it out for the first time. Driving position feels awesome. The pedals are 1,000 times better. That's such a nuance for me, I know, but I drive 200 miles a day, so things like that add up. Steering wheel feels good. Does this telescope too?
It does. There's an electric button on the side.
Does ours telescope?
Manually.
You do have it. This is it may be a couple inches taller, but it feels 6 or 8 inches taller. It feels like a more commanding position. Does this guy run stuff?
No.
It's just that quiet. I have to wait for the speaker system to kick back in.
Now, if you give it the gas pretty hard, you'll hear the. That's the artificial engine noise. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Sounds pretty badass. Can you hear it from the outside?
No.
The Backseat Comfort, I have about 4 to 5 inches of legroom compared to 2 inches in the other vehicle. I do like the center console, so the armrest in the other vehicle a little better, I think. It feels different. I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it. The floor is flatter, which I do like better. There's no hump in the center. There's a small hump in the other vehicle.
A real plus for the Ford F-150 is it has little storage bins in the backside underneath the rear seats that are really nice, because I'm just taking stuff right now and cramming it in there, and occasionally it rolls back out into the floorboard area. So I thought that was a very great idea. So you've got air conditioning controls and fan controls back there also, Kurt?
It's all the same as the front. You just have the vents.
Okay.
Yeah, you control me.
Really?
Now, I do have a 110 outlet, and I do have a cigarette lighter outlet, and I do have my own heated seat controls that I can turn on the passengers.
My wife would really like that, I would imagine. Okay, and since we're talking about you guys in the back again, y'all have access to the outstanding panoramic roof and sunroof up here. The front people get the sunroof, but the back people certainly get all the sun also.
Yikes.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
It's like you're sitting outside on the veranda. All right, the Ford, of course, has the stick shift in the center console as opposed to the shifter on the column, which seems like a more natural feel. All the cars are like that. You get used to throwing your arm up there and jerking the car in gear when you're in the GMC, but this is kind of a comforting feeling. What you do lose is the storage space here, where the GMC has got a huge bucket in there. It's a good looking truck. I mean, I love it. The wood accents are very nice. The leather's where it's supposed to be. It's got some nice, like, brushed aluminum looking brushed nickel looking stuff on it that looks awesome. This has a little more of a roady feel to it. You feel more like you're driving a truck. To me, the true test when you get into a truck about how intuitive the design is can you get in it, start it up, and you just start driving and you're perfectly comfortable driving. And I am in here.
Yes.
I feel like I've driven this 1,000 miles.
How's the power feel compared to yours?
There's
lag,
a noticeable hesitation, but when it's rolling, it's definitely rolling. It feels comparable to mine once the turbos kick in. Mine, the GMC 1500 is, with the 5.3 liter, was 335 horsepower, and I believe that this one was 365 horsepower.
Right. It's
Probably just a different power band.
I believe that this one is the 3.5 EcoBoost on the 2016 was actually quicker than the V8, the 5-liter V8, and I think it has more power. So
I would imagine that just because this is a twin turbo, that it's probably got more torque. I haven't seen the numbers yet.
What kind of warranty? Do you remember the warranty it comes with?
I think it's a 60,000 on this. It's 3-year 36 on everything, and I think it's like a 5-year 60 on the drivetrain.
And a lifetime rust warranty, right?
It is aluminum now. The steel is another story. So,
as far as how the truck drives compared to the GMC, since they're similar in horsepower and all, the aluminum versus steel bed,
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No.
It may show in some numbers somewhere, but in your actual driving experience, I'm not seeing it.
Okay, we're back after a long, grueling day of test, and to be honest, I'm a little surprised at the results, and I'm sure the owners are going to be a little surprised at some of the results that they saw. So let's bring them back in and let's talk a little bit about it. So in my opinion, and I was a backseat driver the whole day, I'm a GMC guy, and I'm gonna have to give it to Ford. I think Ford really licked it on this one. James, what do you think?
Even though the Ford is not the top of the line Ford, and this GMC is supposed to be the top of the line GMC for this size of truck, that truck is equipped better. So it is the F-150 has more room in the back. As far as the passengers are concerned, in the back seat, definitely a better vehicle. I think they're very similar in a lot of aspects. I mean, obviously the GMC looks better.
I mean, I know, yeah, there you go. I know that James got tired of me looking over at him every time I looked at something on the F-150 and saying, hey, James, your truck sucks. But honestly, the F-150 did have some really cool features. It is comparable in looks to whoever's looking at it, I think. I still like the big grille of the GMC myself, just kind of a personal thing, but when you get into the interior of the Ford, I think the comfort felt a little bit better. Definitely, if you're a backseat passenger in the Ford, it hands down is a winner. You got air conditioning in the backseat, has a flat floor, you have 4 to 6 inches more legroom. What were your opinions of the GMC, since this is kind of a fun crack at it today?
you know, I had a lot of fun driving the GMC. I drive a Ford every day. GMC is a really nice truck, rides great. I still have to go with my Ford. You know, I like both equally, but I just think Ford is just a little bit better on the interior for the comforts. backseat passengers, a little bit more room, etc.
A couple of quick observations from me is off the line, the V8 was a little peppier off the line. We didn't really do a head-to-head comparison in a drag race or anything per se. Once the turbo kicked in it, though, on the EcoBoost, you could definitely feel it in your seat. The other thing I noticed just in y'all's driving patterns, maybe a little bit different, is I noticed that this particular truck, the GMC, was getting about 18 miles to the gallon, mostly around town type driving, and you were around 15. So the 15, you know, seems a little disappointing for a six-cylinder, where you have a V8, granted probably a little less horsepower, getting a little better fuel economy. Highway, you get what on this average?
21, 22.
And you get
20, 21.
so pretty comparable on the highway. It's just around town makes a little difference, but those were my personal observations. But I think overall it was a pretty awesome test.
I don't think we could have had a better head-to-head. I think the trucks are definitely in the same class. They're gentlemen's pickup trucks, light duty, medium duty light trucks, more suited to carry golf clubs and mulch than heavy equipment or cinder blocks. But definitely they're both beautiful trucks. I think it's going to come down to personal preference.
Yep.
It's a lot of it comes down to appearance since they're so closely equipped. I'm looking at the paint in the sunlight on Robert's truck right there, and it just looks, the pearlescent,
It does.
it's just outstanding. So yeah, well done with the truck. I'm
Now,
glad you brought it out.
Coming at you in the future is what we're going to do is, you know, compare a 1500 to a 2500 diesel. So we're going to look at it. Do you really need a gas? Do you really need a diesel? Pros and cons of both, and we happen to have both in the full octane collection, so that's going to be a future episode to look forward to.
Do you want to drive a normal sized truck or a semi truck? Thanks for joining us at the Full Octane Garage. If you like our videos, don't forget to subscribe, click the notification button so you get notifications of future videos to come. If you got any comments, please leave them below. I'm sure there's some Ford and GMC Chevrolet guys out there that probably have some comments. I'll be very disappointed if I don't see something down there. So stop what you're doing, go down there right now. Share with your friends and follow us on Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter.
Well, we started on Twitter. Go ahead and throw something out there and then tell us you did on one of the other modes right now, because we're still trying to figure that one out. But thank you again, Robert, for coming out.
Thanks for having
Thanks
me.
a lot.
All right. I think that's going to be a wrap. Thanks for joining us at the Full Octane Garage.